I am pleased to present to you the Superintendent of the Blue Ridge Parkway, Mark Woods.
Thank you so much. It's a delight to be here today, and I really want to welcome all of you here and thank you for joining us at this special event. I'd like to take a moment and recognize a few folks who are with us today and thank them for coming as well. I'd like to recognize our Congressman Bob Goodlatte, representing the 6th District of Virginia. I'd also like to recognize Gwen Mason with Senator Kane's staff. Thank you both for being here with us today. And also we have, for the County of Roanoke, we have the Chairman of the Board of Supervisors, Jason Peters, who is with us. We also have from the town of Vinton, Councilwoman Janet Scheid, and from the City of Roanoke, Mayor David Bowers. And I'd also like to welcome and thank Ken King from the Virginia Department of Transportation for joining us at this event this afternoon. You know, when I drove up today and as I was approaching this overlook and giving some thought to the Blue Ridge Parkway and what it means to the communities around the Parkway and to the millions of visitors literally from all over the world who visit this area, a thought came to me that our first director of the National Park Service shared just under 100 years ago. He stated that establishment of parks is not enough. What is needed are more people who will take the time to stay informed about important issues facing our national parks. And what better project than this project to show community support, community involvement, passion, and love for one of America's greatest national park units, the most visited unit of all national parks in the entire national park system. This project began really with the idea of one individual and then quickly grew into a project that involved many, many folks who dedicated their time and talents and passions to just help us take care of a special place on the Parkway. And that special place, you're looking at it today. We recently cleared this overlook, this vista that you see of the river behind me with the assistance of the Friends of the Blue Ridge Parkway, who provided funding for us to clear a number of vistas and overlooks in the Roanoke corridor. We have over 900 in total along the 469 miles of the Parkway. But the folks who committed to this project, it consisted of about 46 individuals who worked day in and day out to make the improvements that we'll see shortly. And the work was needed because the trail had been basically neglected for many years. We didn't have the resources to do a great deal of maintenance on the trail, and we had a series of weather events that literally washed out the trail and virtually made it unsafe and impassable for the visiting public to use and enjoy. So those 46 volunteers who came and met with us, met with Congressman Goodlatte and I and others, came together with a vision for restoring this area so that the public could use and enjoy their national park. They provided 3,075 hours to this project over the time that they were working. A significant contribution for one project along this park. They provided donations of just under $3,000 in materials, many of which were recycled materials that were used on the project. And the VIP time, the volunteers in parks time, and the contributions for the materials are valued at approximately $80,000 if we had to hire someone, pay someone to do this project. And in my mind, this project is truly a model of the great opportunities for the future of the Blue Ridge Parkway when our citizenry come together and work hand in hand with us to take care of this special place that belongs to each and every American. So I want to thank all of those who were involved in the project. I want to thank the community, the Roanoke area, for the incredible support to this national park. We're delighted to work in partnership with you and with the many groups and organizations involved. And I think this is just the beginning of an exciting time as we approach and are now in the centennial year of the National Park Service's 100th anniversary. So it's my distinct honor and privilege now to welcome a true ambassador for the National Park Service and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'd like to welcome and thank Congressman Bob Goodlatte for joining us today. And we appreciate all of your support, passion, and interest in the Blue Ridge Parkway. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mark. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't this a beautiful day for Roanoke County, the Roanoke Valley, the Blue Ridge Parkway, the Roanoke River Greenway, and Blueway system? Absolutely it is. It's a pleasure to be here with my friend Mark Woods, who's not only a great leader of the Blue Ridge Parkway, but he is also a great canoeist. And we went down this river right here below us, and he kept me dry from the water below me, but not from the skies coming down. So we're grateful it's not raining as hard today as it was that day. Good afternoon and welcome to another great day on the Blue Ridge Parkway. How great is it to have a national park right at our back door? America's first national park, Yellowstone, will mark its 144th anniversary in just less than a month on March 1st. And this year is a special year of celebration for the National Park System. We're marking its creation under the Organic Act in 1916. So what better way to kick off the Park Service Centennial here in the Roanoke Valley than this event on the Blue Ridge Parkway established by Congress 80 years ago. Since 1916, the National Park System has grown to include monuments, preserves, historic sites, battlefields, like those just up the road in the Shenandoah Valley, as well as rivers, recreation areas, and special areas like the Shenandoah National Park and its Skyline Drive, which connects to this linear park, the Blue Ridge Parkway. So why is it so important to mark the opening of this trail? What has occurred to cause it to stand out among the multitude of trails that make this area so attractive to those who love the outdoors? This trail is important because it's recognition of just how much our network of greenways has grown. Through the dedication of people like Liz Belcher and a growing band of volunteers, this project and many others like it are a success. It was just over a year ago during a canoe and kayak trip on a rainy day in October 2014 that Mark Woods and I and other officials learned about the desire to improve the trail that had long existed at this overlook. What needed to be done was to better connect this trail to the Roanoke River, part of the system of blueways that are also jewels in our local outdoors, and we learned earlier today have been approved as a Virginia treasure. That would make canoe and kayak access to the rapids section of the river easier. Mark, who was fairly new to his job, and I and other folks were impressed by how he responded to the plan. And his can-do attitude resulted in allowing those volunteers to commence work on making this trail what it is today. Connecting the Blue Ridge Parkway to our regional network of greenways and blueways remains a priority for me, just as it is for Liz and other outdoors enthusiasts like Pete Eshelman, and city and county officials too. We all know that every improved trail and every new connection is another opportunity for access to the wonderful natural resources that make up the parkway and nearby attractions like Explore Park. As many of you know, I'm one of those longtime proponents of completing the greenway from one end of Roanoke County to the other. We are getting there. mile by mile. And today's ribbon cutting and opening is another small step in the direction of directly connecting those trails to the Parkway. Thanks so much for inviting me to join you for today's event, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to enjoy the trail today and in the future. And here's the Commonwealth of Virginia's certificate of approval presented to Roanoke Valley Allegheny Regional Commission for the Roanoke River Blueway as a Virginia treasure. Congratulations to all of you who made that possible today. Thank you, and God bless you.
Well, thank you, Congressman. I am Jason Peters, the chairman of the Roanoke County Board of Supervisors. And anytime you look at a project like this, you have to look at the number of partners that have to come together to make something like this a success. In doing that, I'd like to recognize some of those partners today. If you'd like to raise your hand when I call the group. The first is the Roanoke Valley Greenway Commission. The second is the Pathfinders for Greenway Board, Pathfinders for Midweek Crew, the Roanoke River Blueway Steering Committee, the Friends of the Rivers of Virginia with Float Fishermen and Freaks, Friends of the Blue Ridge Parkway, locality staff and commission members, including Roanoke County, the City of Roanoke, the City of Salem, and the Town of Vinton, the Roanoke Valley Allegheny Regional Commission, AEP, the Roanoke Valley Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Roanoke Regional Partnership, Roanoke Outside, and the Roanoke Regional Chamber of Commerce. Next, I'd like to talk about the importance of the Blue Ridge Parkway. In the last 68 out of 70 years, the Parkway has had the highest visitation of any national park. It has had twice the visitation of our large parks such as Yellowstone, Yosemite, and the Grand Canyon. While most of these parks generate revenue from entrance fees, the Parkway is free. Thus, its protection, its maintenance, its programs, its very survival is dependent on the support of neighboring communities and our partnerships with friends and neighbors. The Roanoke region believes in being a partner with the Blue Ridge Parkway. Roanoke County led the way many years ago with viewshed protection inventories. The City of Roanoke owns hundreds of acres that are leased to the Parkway for recreational use and viewshed protection. The Greenway Commission and Pathfinders have provided rail condition inventories for over 20 miles of the Blue Ridge Parkway trails. They've done extensive rehabilitation on Parkway trails and provided the Wolf Creek Greenway connection, and the construction of the Roanoke River Parkway into the Explorer Park could not have happened without federal, state, and local partners. Those partners are very important. As the Roanoke Valley, we believe in being connected. We believe the Parkway brings thousands of visitors to our area, and those tourism dollars are very important to our economy. We also know the region provides significant support to the Parkway. This project is evidence that our citizens, our volunteers, and our governments are prepared to increase support. As Roanoke County moves forward with the development of Explorer Park and construction of the Roanoke River Greenway, we look forward to building ever stronger relationships with the National Park Service and beautiful facilities and resources for our citizens and our visitors. Thank you.
You know, I think we have an incredibly bright future at the Blue Ridge Parkway. It was a when I transferred to the Parkway and made my first trip here, I was really disappointed to see a number of our facilities closed and not open to the public. And we set a goal. Our staff worked hard. We came together and we made a priority that we were going to try to restore services to the best of our abilities and to provide the highest level of service that we possibly can, to provide that level of service that the American public has come to expect in their national parks. And I want to thank our staff for the efforts that they have given over the last 2 years to do just that. We've reopened facilities. We've negotiated new concession contracts at most of our areas along the Parkway. We've made a strong effort to expand the opportunities for folks with camping and picnicking, opening seasons earlier, and we're seeing visitation increase significantly. In December alone, our visitation was up 47% over the same period last year. Now, the weather was beautiful, and that's attributed to a great deal of that percentage. But I firmly believe the future is bright. You know, when I first came to Roanoke as superintendent of the Blue Ridge Parkway, it was really like coming back to our second home because we have very dear friends who live in the area and we visited here over the years. And one evening after a reception that was provided for me, the mayor invited me to join him the next morning. He wanted to show me around Roanoke, show me around the downtown area. And he and I met and he said, let's take a walk. And you know, that passion that he had, that love for the community, and we covered the entire downtown area, had a wonderful visit. And over the months since that time, in the last 2.5 years, I have just really grown to respect and have a genuine passion for the communities here and the love they have for this parkway. So I want to thank you for that. We are commemorating the National Park Service Centennial, and in addition to restoring visitor services, opening facilities, a second priority we made is to re-engage with our local communities, to re-engage with those communities from one end of the Parkway at Milepost 0 all the way to Cherokee, North Carolina at 469. And we've just launched an initiative we're calling 100 Hikes. Initiatives where we're inviting community leaders to come out to the park and engage local youth and others to that next generation of stewards to get involved in and participate in enjoying their Blue Ridge Parkway. Following the event today, we're going to take a short stroll for those who want to go to look at this project that has been completed and really see the incredible work that has been done. I want to thank the Roanoke community leaders again for really leading the way. You all have set an example that other communities up and down this park, and in my mind, communities across our nation can follow in taking care of their National Park Service areas. And I'd like to recognize a few folks before we head over here and cut a ribbon. I'd like to recognize Lindsay and Liz for your incredible work, the County of Roanoke for all you did to help make this event possible today. I know that Bill Tanger is not with us today, but Liz said they had a stand-in for him, but I want to thank Bill Tanger for his perseverance in getting this effort done. He frequently called, emailed, and we met numerous times working to get this project moving. Thank you. I'd also like to recognize Dr. Bill Gorge, our pediatrician. Thank you, sir. I want to thank you for your skill and for your patience in making the alignment that is really so beautiful with this trail, and for your passion and commitment to the project. We greatly appreciate that. I'd like to thank the Pathfinders for Greenways for the equipment that they made possible to accomplish this work. And I'd like to recognize the volunteers responsible for the construction. If you could raise your hand, all of you. Thank you so much. And last but not least, I really want to thank the staff for the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'd like to thank the district facility manager, Alan Lawson. Alan, if you could raise your hand here. And his staff. I'd like to thank Bob Adams. Is Bob with us today? Bob in the back here, he was the frontline leader, if you will, engaged with the volunteers in this community. And Bob, thank you for all you did to make this project possible. And thank you for coming out on your day off. We appreciate that. And I'd like to ask all those now who were involved in this project to step over to the entrance here. We're going to have a ribbon cutting, and then for those who would like to take a hike, we're going to lead a short hike down the trail so that you can see the improvements firsthand. For those who can't, I want to thank you for coming today, and thank you for the support you provide to the America's National Parks and to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Thank you very much.
Blue Ridge Parkway, America's #1 park. 1, 2, 3, go!
We didn't need to. We just crawled up to heaven and they sent us an inch of rain, David. And that's all we need.